Hello, hello, hello. So, by the time most of you are watching this video, WARNO will either be released tomorrow or today, depending on which time zone you're in. And before you do make the purchase, I do want to make clear about the current state of WARNO before it gets released into early access. It's one of the first times Eugene is doing a proper early access release. They've done betas before in the past, but this is a little bit different. Because with early access games, there's two types of early access games. You have early access games such as Escape from Tarkov, for example. Yes, it's not on Steam, but it's essentially a game which has been in beta for many years now. But I guess it's fun if you like dying a lot, but it's very playable and it's a good game, all things considering. And then you have early access games, which can be a lot of the shovelware, which is released on Steam, but also actual legitimate games which are very early on in their development lifecycle, such as Kenshi, when it's first released on Steam Early Access. Now it's a very fun and playable game. WARNO is definitely in the second category in its current state. It is early access. He has a lot of problems currently with the WARNO build, which we've been testing on with the Strike Team. It's buggy, it's unstable, it has just a lot of weird unit interactions, and a lot of unit stats needs to get changed, unit icons, menus, etc. etc. And well, on Thursday, I really recommend not buying WARNO, because for what you're currently getting, on release on Thursdays, 2 divisions and a handful of maps on a rather buggy build of the game still. It's not exactly what I would consider playable yet. I think Eugene has done a pretty poor job with their dev blogs and just general communication in, well, informing us that this is really an early alpha, beta, whatever thing you want to bloody call it, version of the game. This is still a testing phase. It's not exactly in a fun pre-order beta, so to speak, or it's really just the game cut down a little bit, like a demo, for example. No, this is still very early on. There's months of work which still needs to go into the game before I would really consider it in a fun or shippable state. And in my personal opinion, I think they should really delay releasing the game for another few months to allow them to polish it up more before actually allowing the general public to purchase and play the game. Because for the money you're going to spend, I don't feel like you're going to be getting a good product. Now, this isn't really anything new in response to early builds of Eugene games. The Wargame Red Dragon, SD44, and SD2 private beta invite-only builds were buggy like this as well. And the Wargame Red Dragon closed beta with only VIP access, there was a bug with the game. Yeah, if you selected a unit just before it died, it would crash the match for everybody in the lobby. And I can tell you, that wasn't a very fun experience. But they weren't selling the game at that point. It was still in a closed beta early testing phase, so that was to be expected. I do actually quite a bit of respect for Eugene, because they've actually dropped the NDA for this a few days before the game will be available for sale, which allows me to speak about this publicly, and you've probably already watched some early access streams or videos from other people who have showcased WARNO in its current state. I just feel like, as this being the first impressions for the game, this isn't a very good first impressions. It's still quite a lot which needs to get done before I would consider this to be a fun and playable game. However, I do believe in Eugene's ability to actually fix these issues before the game does get fully released, as a lot of the issues are fixable. These aren't core problems with the gameplay mechanics of WARNO. It's all just unit stats and performance and stability, which will eventually get ironed out over the next few months before the game does get released. But yeah, I just want you guys to be aware of this before you do make that purchase on Thursday, because in the end of the day, this isn't an early access game, it's an early access game. And you should be aware of that before you do click that big buy button. But at the end of the day, it's your money, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video informative, and as usual, please just take it easy.